Welcome to Everything Carp Fishing. I'm down on my local farm reservoir. It's wet, it's cold. Hopefully I'll catch something. Let's go. Well, I'm back at the reservoir and it's really cold, really cold this time. -5 I think when I'm down last night. It's meant to snow today as well, which is going to be really good for fishing. I've decided to do something different today. I'm fishing a different swim than I was before because that wasn't working. Fishing the same swim and baiting it and just keep. I thought that I could just get fish to come to that swim, but over time, but that's not happened. I've decided this time to fish another swim. Of course, that's what my first plan was, and I was trying to pick a certain swim because I saw something jump last time I was here, and I'm not entirely sure if it was a duck or not, but where I saw the splash is where I've seen carp jump, sort of end of autumn and stuff like that, and I have seen fish jump there in the past as well. So I thought, you know, interesting that I saw a splash there. Last time I stuck it out in that swim, but this time decided to fish that swim, and yeah, managed to get that swim as well, which is really good. I sort of decided also I'm going to put the rods in two different areas. One on that spot where I saw that fish jump, and I've cast over there to see what was over there. There's a little bit of a plateau coming back from an island, and there's a little like platform. There's like a little platformy thing on the island, and it's about a rod length to rod length and a half back from it, and there's a nice little plateau there as well. So I think that's where they were jumping, and I've decided to cast the other one about sort of halfway out. But the one by the platform is 14 wraps out, and I've decided to go about 6 wraps out to my left, because it's quite deep on this side, and I'm trying to fish in the deepest part of the water. I do see a lot of carp jumping out, especially in the summer and in the autumn, all in this sort of middle area. So I thought I'd put one out there into the deeper water and see if that works as well. Like I said, the one on the plateau looks like it's sort of 15 feet, 14 feet deep, and the one out there is 20 feet. So I've got 2 different depths as well, and 2 different areas that I've baited up, and hopefully one of them will work and I'll get something, because it's been hard recently. It's been very cold, and it'd be nice to get at least a carp for all my effort. Well, I've just put bait down the margin, It doesn't seem like an interesting spot to put down the margin, but I did speak to a bailiff quite a while back, and he said they had a 30 down that little spot, so I might as well try it while I'm in this swim. It does drop quite deep. There's a little bit of a plateau just below the edge of this swim, so it might be there where he caught it. I'll lead around before I'm putting it out in that spot. I've decided today that I'm going to stick to the maggots like I did last time, the time before that. So I'm going to stick with the same mix. I decided to stick with the same mix. It's maggots, pellets, chopped up boilies and ground up boilies with some molasses in it, but I've also decided to add some 10mm pellets to it, just to add some bigger items in it. They do break down quite quick. I just thought something a bit different. Yeah, so I just thought I'd try that, something a bit different. The hook baits are trimmed down pop-ups where I've tipped off with maggots. I've decided to stick with one on the pink and then one on the yellow. I did that last time, so I decided to stick with it this time as well. If things start not working, I don't get a bite today and it starts warming up and things change, I may switch over to boilies, because I have more bites over a few boilies with a single over the top of some few scattered than I have done on spod mix really, but I think maggots are still a really good bait to try in that sort of colder weather, and it really does attract them when it's cold. I've decided to stick with the same hook baits as I did last time. I've slightly changed the mix, I've changed my spot, and I've even spread the rods around as well, so they're not in one spot, so hopefully one of those will make a difference. Getting a little bit busy at the moment, well, busier than I thought it was going to be, so it might make it harder if I do see fish somewhere else. I look like I might not be able to move, considering how cold it is, and I mean it wasn't that far from the lake actually freezing, and yeah, I just know it's a bit crazy people turning up on this day. I wouldn't normally come out in this sort of weather often. I mostly just go on the sort of more sort of nicer days with a bit more sun, and I can fish like zigs or I can fish in shallow water, but it's been busy up here all the time. Every time I've turned up and it's sunny, it's just packed. So I haven't picked those days. I've ended up picking the worst days to come at the moment. It seems to put some people off, but still getting busier than I was expecting, and I'm sure that's probably like that everywhere really. Everyone's jumping chance to get out and do some fishing somewhere. So yeah, I'll stop babbling on, and I think I might have a cup of tea and sit back and see if anything happens. I've just had an indication as well, and I'm not entirely sure what that was, but it was quite violent indication, so promising I suppose. I'll take anything today. If I get one bite, I'll be amazed. I might end up getting bream, but you know, we'll see, and hopefully that will attract the carp if I do get bream. Yeah, so a cup of tea and sit back and see if anything happens. Well, a lot's happened. I've just encountered my first bream of this year. Normally a bream would be a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing in a moment because something is coming along and feeding, and I think that hopefully they'll attract the carp to come and feed. Well, that water is absolutely freezing cold. I touched it and it really hurt my hand. It's absolutely freezing in there. If you fell in, you won't be able to survive that. That's absolutely cold in there. Absolutely freezing in there. I managed to get the rod back out again, and I've put a couple of spoms over, but the spom started sort of veering off a little bit. I'm not too bothered about it that much, but I've decided to put a little bit of molasses in my mix just to thicken it up, make it heavier. It's just a bit light at the moment because obviously the molasses sort of soaked in, it's sort of dried up a little bit, so put a bit more in, and that should make it heavier, and hopefully that should make it go a bit more straight as well to the spot. I'm not too bothered that it's veered off a little bit. It sort of spreads the bait about a little bit, but next ones I just kind of want to get them round about where the hook bait is. but it's promising though. I had a funny feeling that I was going to get a bite. Shame it's a bream. I would have liked to have caught carp first and then a bream, but hopefully that will get the carp involved, and hopefully they'll start feeding, or at least I might have a carp today. Let's see. If I can get it going, then maybe. Yeah, it just started raining or sleeting at the same time. It just come down, and it's sort of come off a little bit, but it's gone really dark clouds, and I think I'm going to get a lot more either rain or sleet. It did say it was going to snow today, which it hasn't so far, but it might just suddenly change to snow, and then I'll have loads and loads of snow. It'd be really great. But I'm still convinced that I'll get a carp. I'm still convinced that I might get a couple more bream as well. I've just had another indication, so let's see. It's been raining for quite a while, nothing's really happened, so I've decided to bring one of my rods in and pull it down the margin spot that I baited up, and I decided to actually recast it on a rod because I thought after having that bream, and I put a little bit of bait in, I was expecting to get another bream. Nothing happened, so I brought it in, recast it, I've put in a couple of spoms and it's just gone again, and I've lost, I think, was a bream. It came in pretty slowly and it had a bit of weight to it, but I don't think it was a carp. Yeah, so I've recast it back into the spot, and I had another pull while I was trying to put the indicator on as well. So there's a few bream out there, and I think there's some roach as well, but I'm just going to keep going with it until I get a carp, because if I change to any other thing I might end up just not getting anything. I think the maggots approach is attracting all sorts of species, but hopefully eventually I'll get a carp. If not, I may change for the next session and just go out all out on boilies and try my best to avoid the bream if I can. Hopefully I'll have a result today, and then it means I can just keep going the maggots. If not, I will change next time possibly, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm actually gonna put another couple of spoms in over the top, another 2 I reckon, because it went pretty quick after putting some bait in, so it's definitely attracting in at the moment bream, but hopefully eventually carp. It looks better now. It's sort of warmed up a little bit. It got really cold, the rain came down quite heavy, but yeah, I think I've got a good chance today. It's looking really good in the afternoon, better than it was this morning. It was really cold this morning. Even though the water's really cold, I'm hoping that it will just wake them up for just a quick feed. Yeah, so I've got one down the margin on that spot. It's a little shallow little plateau around the corner, and the other one is still on that spot out there that seems to be just catching bream at the moment, but I reckon a carp will come along. I'm just going to put a little bit more bait in again just to top it up. I'm just going to put 1 or 2 in and see if anything happens after that. I'm going to keep going and see if something happens. While I'm waiting for another bite, oh, he's dead. Yes, what do you want? Yeah, while I'm waiting for a stop it. Go and feed somewhere else. Yeah, while I'm waiting for a bite, one of my old friends has just appeared out of nowhere. I think it's a duck. I'm not entirely sure. But I came a couple of sessions ago, and he was following me around everywhere and trying to get food off me, and he just appeared out of nowhere, and he's mooching around my rods at the moment. Yes, stop it. I think he's picking up a few maggots I've dropped as well. At the moment I've had nothing at the moment, but the wind has just dropped out of nowhere. It got up when it started raining, and then it sort of faded away a little bit, and it's completely gone now. It's completely calm. It feels a little bit warmer as well. The air feels warmer. It just looks good for a bite at the moment. It just looks really good. I've just got to wait and see if anything happens. I did put a little bit more bait out, just because I had that bite really quickly after baiting up, and I thought I'll just top it up because I want to keep it going. Oh! I've only done it again. I've caught another bream. I can't seem to avoid the bream. Everywhere I go, I seem to catch bream. Just change my channel to everything bream fishing. I seem to be so good at it. It's such a oh, so annoying. I've had to refresh my hook bait as well because it's completely messed up all the maggots and everything. I've now had 3 bream and no carp. The maggots are such a good thing for carp, but in the winter, but it just seems to attract every single species in there. I'm sure if I keep going I will catch a carp. I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm going to put this, refresh this hook bait and get it back out, and just hope that I can quickly turn it around. The sun's actually coming out a little bit now and then, so it looks good. Still looks good for a bite, and I've still got time. I'm just going to put it back out, and hopefully I'll get then. Hopefully I'll catch something that's not bream. Let's see. Well, I've had nothing today apart from the bream. It's been hard and it's been really cold, but well, I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm sure I can come up with something. Maybe I'll try the boilie fishing. Maybe I might have a chance of avoiding those bream next time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.